Hi y'all. Today we're doing the second part of my video. The first part, if you haven't seen it, let me get it. The first part, I illustrated my own SkyDancer. And this is the second part of my video series, question mark, where I am going to make this now. So I have the illustration. I went in, I used pan pastels for the first time and I loved them. And now I'm gonna go and make my own SkyDancer. Also, I just realized that we have the same hair, kind of. Almost. Anyway, I'm gonna make this into a real doll. So we are just gonna jump right into it today. If you haven't seen this video, I will put like a little card or something. I don't know where it goes. It goes somewhere up here. So you can watch it. I sketch it out on my iPad and then I illustrated this. And I think I want to do more of these, so let me know if you really enjoy these. I have another one in the works that I was thinking of doing, and she's gonna be like blue, I think. If you guys end up liking this one and liking the doll, maybe I'll make another one. Or maybe I'll make like different variants. I don't know. So today we are going to go and get the supplies, so like the doll and the clothing materials, I think, to make this. I did find this set on Mercari, I think it was, and it is a Barbie ballerina set. And as you can see, it has like leotard and some tights and then some little shoes. So I think I'm gonna build things off of this. Like, this is gonna be my base. And I'm wondering actually if I'll be able to like dip dye the tights, because they're white right now, but I want them to be purple. So I might get like purple dye and then do that and hopefully not stain the rest of it. But I also need to get like tulle or something that goes around here and a bunch of bows. And I think what I might do is on these little shoes, you can see that they're little ballerina shoes. I might cut off the plastic parts here and do actual ribbons. But I don't know if these are gonna fit Monster High dolls. I think that's what I wanna do. Either Monster High or LOL, I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna bring this with me and look like a crazy person trying to compare these things against the dolls to see if it'll fit. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. And we're gonna get started on this whole process. I'm pretty excited, so let's go. I got my supplies. I also got two dolls because I didn't know which one I wanted to do. And I always really like the OMG dolls the most body-wise, but I hate their heads. So I kind of was like, oh, I don't want to buy two dolls to replace the head with, and then I kind of ended up buying two dolls anyway because I didn't know if I wanted her to have more pink skin like Draculaura, or if I wanted her to not have pink skin. And also I have some vintage doll heads at home. I'm wondering if maybe they'll fit on the doll. I don't know. It's also getting hot very quickly in this, so I have to wrap this up. Also, here's a problem with ADHD, is that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this one and done SkyDancer. Easy. And then I'm like walking through Joann's and I'm looking at stuff to get for my doll, and then I keep seeing things that I'm like, oh, this would be kind of a cute SkyDancer. And then I'm sitting here walking through Joann's and my brain is going like 50 million miles a minute, and my brain always does this with like art stuff. Like the minute I get inspired, it starts like spinning, and I was like, oh, what if I redesigned a bunch of SkyDancers and like had them all different themes? So I have one that's like coquette with like bows and pink and glitter, and then I have another one that's kind of like clown circus theme, maybe with like pom-poms and like bells, and she has kind of like primary colors, and then maybe like another girl who's like goth, and then like maybe another girl who's like, you know, like there's so many options, and then you could put decorations on the wings. And now I want to design like 5
And then I want to make 5 of the dolls, and I just gave myself exponentially more work. It's hot in here. I'm gonna have to go and turn on the air. Okay.
I got these 2 dolls. I don't know which one I want to pick. I'm also gonna look through my stash and see what heads I have and see if any of these heads might work on this doll. So I might stick with this one, because I do like their bodies better. And I don't know if I want her to be pink skinned. So I have a bunch of vintage heads. This one I already practiced a face up on, but can kind of see, like, imagine how these would look. I think this one might be too big. This one actually might be a good size, but it is very, like, kitty. This one I think is too small. This one's scary, but she does have like this post for the neck, and I wonder if I can kind of cut that off. I think maybe what I'll try to do is at least pop off her head and just stick this on to see how it looks. So I tried 2 things. This one has the neck still on it, because these heads have necks, and it fits surprisingly well. The only problem is you have this like ledge here. I feel like I could probably fix it by putting like a choker. I cut off the neck, but now the hole is too big. So I will have to epoxy it if I decide to use this head. But these are the 2 bodies. This is my illustration. I don't know. I also have these Barbie clothes, which I don't know if they'll fit anything, but I can try and see like how much it fits. So it's obviously baggy in the chest, but I wonder if I could take it in. But other than that, like, it kind of fits. My one issue with it is it's basically the same color as her skin. And that's one of the things I was a little worried about with like pink, having pink skin, is that this would be the same. So let's see how it looks on this body now. Okay, so obviously we ran into a problem where the leggings are too long. This obviously does not fit as well. I could probably take it in and then use the ruffles to hide this part maybe, but yeah, it doesn't really want to go up anymore. Also, this is too long here, but I could also like cut it and just like fit it to her, I think. I also am not sure if these shoes fit either of them. So let's see. I think her feet are too wide. Yep. Her feet are too wide, and then obviously this would definitely not fit because her feet are way too big. This for the ruffle, and I got 2 because I feel like I could kind of overlap them and do this. She would basically just be like super pink themed. And then I got foam for the wing part, as well as this like shiny part to go on top. I'm unsure how I would make the shoes though. I don't know. Maybe if I get some purple bows. Let me check my stash and see what purple I have and see if I can put together something. Okay, I have some bows. I think like if I had this and then these bows maybe would be less. Maybe it might work. I don't know. Maybe I'll feel better if I take off the faces and then I can actually see the mold that I'm working with without being distracted by the paint. So let me do that first. I have decided, after sketching it out and then talking to some friends, I'm doing this one. So I'm gonna cut off her hair. My hair wefts come today, but then my wefting thing, the needle thing, I forget what it's called, comes tomorrow, which is great. So I'll probably do the face up and the clothes today and then the hair tomorrow. I do have to, I forgot to get dye. I wonder if I can use hair dye. I'll have to Google that. And then we're also gonna like fix this to fit her. So I did a quick Google search and I found out that, why is this so yellow? Must be just like the way that the cup is.
That's piss.
That if you put just a little bit of acrylic in to water, like super dilute it, you can dye doll clothes. And I only really just need these little parts dyed. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So let's see if this works. Looks like a little dookie. Okay, so I dipped this multiple times. I'm not sure what it's gonna look like when it's dry. We will see. So I'm just gonna put this over there in case I need it again. I trimmed off all of her hair, and now I'm going to try the new process to me of pulling out all of these and rerooting. I haven't gotten my hair in the mail or the rerooting tool yet because they got delayed in shipment. So I'm going to, I guess, pop her head off, pull out all of the things, and then do her face up, and then do the rest of her clothes today, I think is what we'll do. When you see her next, she will be headless. Bodiless? She will be decapitated. I dipped her whole head in boiling water. That way it made it easier for me to pop her head off, as well as popping out all of the little plugs all over her head. Hey guys, this is the biggest pain in the ass I have ever done. This sucks. This sucks so much. Boy, howdy do I hate this. Wow, I've spent hours trying to get these little plugs out of here, and also they don't have glue inside anymore. They're just the little knots. So I have to like pull out every single one, and it's a pain in the ass, and I hate it. I hate it a lot. So you know what? I took out just the front part. I'm gonna reroute this here, and then I'm just gonna hot glue the rest on here because I am not doing all of this. No way, no how. I already took out so many and I'm over it. I'm so done. So what we're gonna do instead is just move on to the face up and then do her clothes, wait for the hair to get here, and yeah. Let's begin. I primed her face with Mr. Super Clear, and now I'm just going in with watercolor pencils to block out how I want all of her facial features to look on her face. And I'm just going in with a red just to keep the lines soft and not harsh because these are just sketches. This is just the sketch layer. And now I get to try out my pan pastels. They blended so nicely. Actually, they were like so pigmented that I didn't realize how much pigment I was actually using. And I didn't think I was using a lot when I would pull it up from the pan. I'm so used to just regular chalk pastels that I got from, I think, like Joann's. So these are so much more pigmented. So I actually realized quickly that I have to be very, very light-handed. I also have one of those little like gummy erasers, and I used that to pick up any residual or extra pastel. If it was like too strong, I would use the eraser to kind of pick it up and soften it a little bit.
I primed her again and then went in with my second layer of watercolor pencils where I started sketching out and finalizing exactly how I wanted the eye shape to be and everything. So I just started blocking in the eyes, the eyelids, and putting down like a base color for everything. I also ended up priming her body with Mr. Super Clear and added blush on her joints. And then I went in and added purple on her legs because I wanted her legs to be purple from the tights, but I felt like the tights that I dip dyed were not going to be purple enough. And so I felt like they needed more depth in there. So I figured if I used the pan pastels to make her legs purple, then I would get like a deeper purple hue on her legs. I also had no idea that these stack. I just figured that out now. That's awesome, FYI. Another point to pan pastels. So I did another coat on here, and I am going to paint with my gouache paints. And then I also got like a bunch of teeny tiny nail art brushes that somebody suggested that I do. If I want to get detail stuff, I got like a ton of nail art brushes.
Okay, I think making her legs purple was the move, because this, I think, looks much better. Now it's the time for my favorite part, which is to put the UV resin on the eyeballs and the lips. I need to get actual, like, UV resin, like, craft one and not janky polish, but this is what I have right now, so... This high gloss for her lips. Okay, so for the clothes, the hips fit, it's the top part. So I'm gonna like cut right here, and then I think I'm gonna just like pull it over like this, and then just like glue on top. And then this side, I don't know, I might have to do the same thing. We might have to cut these straps off because they're probably just gonna get in the way.
For the tutu, I ended up using the pink lace only, and I just sewed along the top to make it gathered, and then I also just put a bunch of arbitrary stitches in to kind of squish it all together, and then I just glue it onto the body, and then I went back in with some hot glue to squish it in even more spots. I used a lot of hot glue on this project because I couldn't be bothered with just hand sewing everything. These weird straps were kind of a pain in the butt, but I figured it out. I had some leftover purple satiny trim of some sort, and I kind of just made rectangles, glued in creases, and then just folded them or wrapped them around the arm and then glued them to the straps. For the little lace cuffs, I ended up cutting off the top part of this lace and just using that as the cuff. Because it already had stitching in it, I just put in some folds and then just glued it around the wrist. so my camera died while I was trying to make the garter belt. So the garter belt is just a small piece of lace that I have, and then I tied a little ribbon around it and then just glued a bow. Easy, simple, that's about it. And now came the absolute worst part of this whole entire project. The shoes. The damn ballet shoes. I tried like 4 different methods to make these shoes. None of them worked. They were all awful. I hate every single one. The first one I tried to do is the cotton and glue method. I figured maybe I could make like a cotton and glue shaped shoe and then sand it down to be smooth. I started laying down the cotton and the glue and I just really didn't like it. I really hated it. I tried and I gave up and figured, you know what, maybe I should try something else that's less smooshy, I think. So I gave up on that one. I tried some clay. I had air dry clay. I didn't like that either. Then I googled it and found that some people made theirs with polygel, which is basically like, it's like a nail gel essentially, and you can sculpt it into the shape you want and then cure it in a UV light. So I was like, oh, I've worked with gel before. I think this could work. So I tried to do that. I tried to sculpt a shoe onto her foot. And like, I had some progress. I made a shoe for sure, but it was just so bulky and clunky, and then at one point her toe like broke through the top of the shoe and it just didn't look good. Like, it looked weird, it looked big, it just looked awkward, and I spent way too long sanding it. I sanded it forever and ever and ever. I got particles everywhere. Probably should have been wearing a mask. I definitely breathed in a bunch of that polygel dust particles into my lungs, and I'll probably die from it at some point, I guess. But yeah, I tried to do that, and in the end wasn't happy with that one either. I spent the most time on the polygel because I really believed that I could make it work. I couldn't.
Okay, I'm gonna pivot from these shoes because I'm very angry and I hate them right now. And I'm gonna do the hair because I got my packages, and this is what I've been waiting for, is this rerouting tool. I got some hair, pink and purple. I didn't take out all of the plugs because it was a pain in the ass. So what I'm gonna do is glue over most of it and then try to at least just get like right here, the border. I'm gonna reroute that. So here's hoping that it works. I don't know. We'll see. It's like a little lollipop. First, I have to clean up this mess. Abracadabra, bibbidi, boo! Clean enough, at least. Made some space. So we're gonna do her hair. I have these, and then the rerouting tool, and then a hot glue gun. Wish me luck!
Now came the second pain in the ass part of this project, which was actually styling her hair. For some reason, her hair did not want to go into a bun. It fought me so many times. I spent like 45 minutes just trying to get it into this bun shape. And the amount of times that it would get into the bun and then pop out, or the rubber bands would pop, or whatever, it didn't want to cooperate, and it was driving me absolutely bonkers. But finally, after fighting it and then using a straightening iron to kind of like curl the edges to make it curlier, and like doing a bunch of different variations of manipulation, it decided to listen and stay in a bun. Very delicately, I should say. I don't mess with it too much now. For the bangs, what I ended up doing was trimming them down and then using glue to hold their shape, as well as a hairdryer. I kind of held the hair pieces into the shape that I wanted to with the glue in it, and then I used the hairdryer on a really hot setting to kind of set the hair in that spot. For the wings, I just ended up winging it. I know, so funny. And I just drew the general shape of the wing that I wanted, cut it out of the foam, traced that shape onto the other foam piece, cut that out, and then traced that foam piece onto the iridescent paper that I got, and then just glued them all together. Easy peasy. Adding the glitter shapes was easy. I literally just drew the shape I wanted with glue and then just dumped a bunch of glitter on there. Enjoy this satisfying glitter wipe. I don't know, it was satisfying to me, so maybe it'll be satisfying to you. In order to attach the wings to the body, I put a tiny elastic at the top and then a tiny elastic in the middle where her wrist is, so that I could slip her arm through the top and then put her wrist through the little middle loop. And then I tackled the shoes once more. This time I figured I'll just make it out of fabric. It won't be nice, it won't look great, but she needs something. So I literally just cut a circular shape out, more like a teardrop shape, out in a square piece of fabric. I glued some ribbon to wrap around her leg, and then I just kind of wrapped it around the foot and tried to figure out as I went how I was going to make this work. It just was a lot of cutting and gluing and makeshift gluing and makeshift cutting, and I kind of gave up at this point and figured as long as she had something resembling a shoe on, then it was good enough. And honestly, I hate these shoes. I hated every rendition of shoe that I made. So if you have a better idea for a shoe, please let me know. I want to take these shoes and light them on fire. This was such a pain in the ass for me. So yeah, if you have any tips or tricks, please let me know, because I hate them. I hate them so much. Once I got these damn ugly bread box shoes onto her feet, that was it. That was the last part of this project. And let's move on to the glamour shots. So let's talk about my thoughts on this project. Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I would give myself a B, I think, or maybe a B+. I really like how her face turned out. I think that the outfit itself is really cute. I really like how the tutu turned out, as well as the little bows on the front, and I'm impressed that the tights worked as well as they did. The wings are okay. I think that they're a little cheap looking, and I probably could have used a better way to attach them. The shoes, I think, are the worst part about this whole thing. I hate them. I don't know what else to say besides that I just hate them. The hair, I think, is good for the most part. I think it could be polished a little better, but I tried my best, and it was the first time I rerouted a head. Mostly rerouted. Other than that, I think she's pretty cute. I was thinking of doing a whole bunch of these, but I think I might be a little dolled out for now because this was a big project. So I might go back to drawing for a little bit before I get inspo to do another big doll again. I do have like a bunch of ideas for SkyDancers, but I just don't know if I can tackle another big project like this, especially with the convention coming up soon. I have to start shifting my focus over to prepping for that. Let me know down below what you think of this doll. Let me know if you liked this video. I know that this was kind of a longer one, but yeah, tell me what you liked about it and if you agree with me that the shoes suck. And if you have any better ideas for shoes, let me know. Other than that, if you don't know, I have a monthly sticker club and I send out monthly stickers every single month. Monthly? So every month you'll get a new sticker for the month, every month. It's a different kind of sticker, different theme. You can subscribe to that on my Ko-fi, and I have 2 tiers. I have the Atomic tier and the Starburst tier. The Starburst tier starts at $15 and the Atomic tier is $25. Starburst tier gets a sticker sheet and a vinyl sticker every month, and the Atomic tier gets a sticker sheet, a vinyl sticker, and then other goodies. So if you feel like supporting me and subscribing to that, you can find the link in the box below. Other than that, I hope that you have a good rest of your day and go take a nap. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.